Also, about 2 days ago, you also assented to Employment Act, Amendment Act 2025. And I want to thank you so much for those very, very, very positive steps. The theme of today of safeguarding Uganda's progress, empowering the workforce and promoting decent work for competitive enterprises, is deliberately chosen to highlight the link between motivated workforce and business sustainability. We thank Your Excellency and the government for the progress in electricity cost reduction, maintaining extra large industrial tariffs at just 5.6 US cents per kilowatt hour and of peak rates of 5 US cents. This fulfills your directive to lower productive costs. These are real pillars combined with GDP projects that are projected to hit 66 billion and a poverty rate that has dropped 16.1%, prove Uganda is on the right trajectory. As you are aware, Your Excellency, we are partners in the implementation of NDP 5 and the Vision 2040. And we want to transition from paper to prosperity. The private sector has increased domestic investment by 24%, 24.5% actually, of GDP, and we are ensuring export finished products rather than raw materials. The Vision 2040 targets employers. To meet the Vision 2040, employers have expanded former payrolls by 8% annually. And if I were you people who are employed, I would be clapping for this. Federation of Uganda Employers members spend over 450 billion, Your Excellency, annually on upskilling and apprenticeships, preparing workforce for the various work, especially in the knowledge economy. The former private sector provides 80% of domestic tax revenue funding, and these are huge, huge contributions to the country's development. Your Excellency, in the interest of time, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge and pay gratitude to our partners, among them Enable for the youth placement and decent workforce, Danish Industry, GIZ, DEPA, ILO, EU, and the Confederation of Norwegian Enterprise. We appreciate the Presidential CEO Forum also and the labor unions for their steadfast collaboration. Your Excellency, as we did last year, we called for an establishment of National Productivity Labor Center. This very, very much works for the employers, and for Uganda to be globally competitive, we need a dedicated institution, set benchmarks, and provide data-driven strategies. Productivity, as you know, Your Excellency, is the bridge to higher wages and national wealth. My colleague has already thanked you for the minimum wage and the steps that have been taken, especially establishment of councils, board and councils, which have been established through a tripartite arrangement. And the industrial hubs, we have already commended government for that. And for the private sector to lead effectively, we urge government to widen the tax base. Simply, the tax system should not focus only on compliance, but widen a bit so that the burden is not on a few people, especially employees and employers. Lastly, Your Excellency, there is a cancer that we have been talking about, that we just talked about. We know that you are driving this process of the cancer of corruption, Your Excellency. As employers, we are very, very much engaged in thinking about this matter. And in 2-3 months, we would want to, among other things, we want to discuss with you, to request that you invite us, that we be invited to discuss with you about the strategies we are putting in place. We are under some sort of incubation, Your Excellency, to try and find a way of getting this cancer completely eliminated. And this time around, Your Excellency, we are extremely serious because it is a big, big cost. In fact, some people have started calling it a tax on doing business. And we will be very, very, very happy to discuss with you to also add on your already initiated strategies to make sure that we eliminate this together, because it is cannot be a one-person thing. Your Excellency, I want to thank you so much once again and take this opportunity to thank you for gracing this occasion and to assure you that the Federation of Employers will be your partner in everything government does to make sure our country develops even further. Just an observation as I conclude, Your Excellency. The people of Uganda really should always appreciate. Didn't you see really how the parade has really become improved and developed? And the kind of clapping I saw here was not really commensurate. And I want to request that really you give them a big, big clap. The parade was not only good, but with a vibe and an organized vibe at that. So please clap for the parade a little bit more. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, the people of Uganda.
Thank you for that brief statement. Your Excellency, the Director of Ceremonies for this function is Honorable Anyakuni Ester Anyakuni, the Honorable Minister of State for Labor, Employment, and Industrial Relations. We have been her assistants. Your Excellency, my name is Alice Abwoli Muwanguzi, Special Presidential Assistant, Office of the President. Your Excellency, thank you.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, my name is Olama Claire. I am a registrar here in buyikwe. I hail from Zombo. I'm particularly impressed by Buyikwe because of the nature of the way the district welcomes many people. Abantu ba Buyikwe mwebale kuija, wafuwa yobinu, wafuwa jalo president, mwebale kuija kutanjira president. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, sir, I am Major Flavia Teri Mulungi Mulindwa. I'm the 1 Infantry Division Public Relations Officer, sir. And I've been second Deputy Master of Ceremonies today, sir.
Your Excellency, thank you for coming. My name is Richard Bigirwa, and I hail from Bulisa, and I'm the Secretary General of the National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU. Thank you, Your Excellency, for gracing this occasion.
Senior Commissioner of Prisons, Frank Baine, Prison Spokesperson.
Thank you very much, Wananga Bugalo, for our Directors of Ceremonies. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, all workers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give my sister, the Woman Member of Parliament for Buyikwe, time to greet you and also to welcome the President before I can invite the Minister of Labor.
Your Excellency, allow me to stand on the protocol already observed. Njagala okwebaza Oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti okubeera wano olwaleero e Bukunja. Muzeeyi wano oli Bukunja. Bana Bukunja gye muli? Gye muli? Tusanyuse nnyo Oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti okubeera wano olwaleero. Twagala okwebaza okkiriza n'ojja wano ate n'otukyalira. Twagala okuyozaayoza Oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti olw'okuwangula akalulu akangi ke wawangula nga 15 January 2026. Njagala okwebaza bana Bukunja, bana Buyikwe, bana Kyaggwe, bana Greater Mukono olw'akalulu akayitirivu ke mwawa Pulezidenti waffe omulungi ne mumuwa akalulu akayitirivu. Njagala okwebaza bannayuganda bonna naddala abakozi okubayozaayoza olunaku lwammwe olwaleero olwa International Labour Day. Njagala okwebaza abakozi bonna n'abo ababakozesa. Njagala okwebaza Ministry ya Gender. Njagala okwebaza mukwano gwange Ester Anyakuni okulaba nti omukolo guno aguleese wano ate banabukunja. Guno gwe gusoose kuva baatusala ku mukono emyaka 15. Njagala okwebaza mukwano gwange Ester Anyakuni ngate nga ye Minister wa Labour. Ate omukyalo ono Ester yasomera wano kuva mu P1 mpaka mu P7. Abantu be Bishop Nkoyoyo ono ye OG wammwe. Njagala okwebaza President olwa government programs zoleese wano mu Buyikwe district. Njagala okwebaza ne government ya Uganda. Ekisookera ddala ffe nga bannabuyikwe twakafuna $23 billion mu maka 1,100 nga bafuna PDM. Njagala okwebaza President for that initiative. Njagala okwebaza President w'eggwanga nga bw'okimanyi wano abantu b'e Buyikwe babadde n'obuzibu bw'amataka. Kyokka twagala okwebaza directive gye wawa, ekiragiro kye wawa Ministry of Lands okulaba nti tugulawo account mu Bank of Uganda okulaba nti abantu baffe abali ku bibanja basasula obusuulu nga bayitira mu mitendera egyo. Ab'ebukunja mukimanyi President yakikozeeko ddala abalandiroodi abataagala musasula obusuulu baguddewo akawunti we mugenda oteeka obusuulu obwo. Your Excellency, district eno nene nnyo. Tuyina ebizinga oba tuyina 52 landing sites. Landing sites ezo zibeerako abavubi. Twagala okusaba nti ebiragiro by'abavubi tubikoleko mu bwangu olw'ensonga abantu baffe baabikiriza ate baagala bitambulirako. Kyokka essaawa zino abantu baffe tebamanyi kyakukola gye bali eyo ku mbalama z'ennyanja. Tukusaba nti ekiwandiiko ekyo bakyanguyeeko abantu baffe bafune obutimba obulungi batandike okukola ate balabire famire zaabwe. Ng'amaliriza ow'ekitiibwa, tulina oluguudo lwaffe olwa Lugazi Kiyindi. Oluguudo luno luleeta ebyamaguzi. Oluguudo luno luconnectinga Ebuvuma ne MP w'Ebuvuma waali wano Honorable Migade ajja kumbeera obujulizi. Twagala okulaba nti oluguudo luno lukolebwa tulabe nti ebyamaguzi biyitawo bulungi olw'okuba ffe tulina Fishmo, tuyina Nile Patch, tuyina Mukene, ate ejja kulaba nti eggwanga eriwa essente. Ng'amaliriza ow'ekitiibwa President, twagala okwebaza presidential hubs z'otuwadde. Eyaffe presidential hub eri Kayunga etwala abaana 38 buli mwaka. Tukwebaza. Wali wano emyaka emabega nga sinaba kubeera MP n'otusuubiza vocational school ya Kitaka. Twagala okujjukiza olw'ensonga olw'abakozi be tulina abangi n'abavubuka abayitirivu be tulina ne population ennene. Bw'otukolera vocational school eyo ejja tuyambako okulaba nga abantu basobola okuyiga ebyemikono olwa labor force ennene eri mu Buyikwe district. Ng'amaliriza tukusaba nga bannabuyikwe, nga bannakyagwe, nga bannabukunja, tuyina bakulembeze abaagala okulaba. Tukusaba otuwe obudde otuyite tukubuulire ku bizibu byaffe. Ng'amaliriza njagala okwebaza Bishop Nkoyoyo olw'okutuwa wetukoledde olwaleero omukolo gwa International Day. Twagala okubeebaza. Tuyina ba OB ne ba OGs abaasomera wano. tubeebaza nnyo olw'okutuwa obudde, olw'okutuwa awantu wammwe ne tuwakozesa, ate omukolo ndaba gutambudde bulungi. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala, Omukama abeere wamu nammwe, ate akume pulezidenti waffe. Ng'amaliriza, minisita, njagala okwanjula ba MP. Mumanyi bw'obeera wano ate n'otanjula abakulembeze batutunulira bubi ng'omukolo guwedde. So njagala okwaniriza MP elect owalugazi municipality ssente za Richard ayayiseemu ku independent toka mwana waffe wa NRM. Njagala okwebaza RDC retired Major Matovu olw'omulimu guwakoze wano. Njagala okwebaza ba RDC bonna. Njagala okwebaza Kaw owa district eno. Ba LC2, ba LC3 bonna abakoze omulimu, ba district councillors musitukeko babalabeko, ba chairperson ba districts musitukeko muwule ku president waffe omulungi. Tuyina flag bearer waffe ow'ekitundu kino, Honorable Mutebi David wali wano asituke akuwubireko. Tuyina ba religious leaders, Bishop Enos Kagodo wali wano. Abakulira Buganda ow'ekitiibwa azze mu bigere bya Ssekiboobo wali wano. Tuyina omukulembeze ow'abakenyi wali wano asituke akuwubireko. Tuyina ba head teacher aba Bishop Nkoyoyo musitukeko muwubire ku president waffe omulungi. Tuyina ba investors district eno ina factories ezisuuka mu 100. Twagala okubeebaza omulimu gwe bakoze ate n'okutambulira wamu naffe ng'abakulembeze. N'abazadde bange we bali wano basitukeko bakuwubireko president. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. God bless Uganda, God bless His Excellency, and God bless abantu bange ab'e Buyikwe. Banabukunja baagala nnyo. Webale nnyo ow'ekitiibwa.
Banabukunja ngasuulire bwe mukwira baka emikono. Akalulu. Your Excellency, it's with great pleasure that I honor and welcome you and all our invited guests to this National Labor Day. It's here at Nkoyoyo Boarding Primary School grounds in Matalen, Buyikwe. Specifically, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you, Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, upon your victory on the last concluded general elections. We thank you so much. Your Excellency, as the ministry and as Uganda, we thank you so much also for assenting to the Employment Amendment Act 2025. I would like to recognize dignitaries who are here. I start with my senior sister, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Alupo. The Honorable Chief Justice, please stand up and wave at the President. Cabinet Ministers and Ministers of State, we have Honorable Lukia Nakadama, Third Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Betty Amongi, Honorable Diana Mutazingwa, Honorable Balam Barugara, we have Joyce Kadichu, we have Honorable Grace Mugasa, Honorable Minister Akelo Roslili, Nambozo Florence, Honorable Asamo Helen Grace, we have Honorable Babalanda Babiri Emile, we have Honorable Right Honorable Ruth Nankabira, we have Honorable Victoria Rusoke, we have Honorable Chofa Kabuye, and the rest of the members. The rest of the leaders who are here, I want to recognize all of you. Honorable members of Parliament, can you all solemnly stand up and wave at the President? Members of the NRM Central Executive Committee who are here, Excellencies, the ambassadors and high commissions and other members of the diplomatic corps, former national leaders, traditional and cultural leaders, Religious leaders, please stand up and wave to the President. Heads of the statutory bodies, commissions and institutions, service chiefs and all senior officers of the armed forces, workers, employers, medalists, and also all the invited guests. In a special way, Your Excellency, I want to recognize the staff of the Ministry of Gender. They have really worked so hard to make sure that we are here and the best team we have in this country. Your Excellency, in a special way, before I invite the President, I want to recognize that I have been to this school. My parents were able to bring me to this school when I was young in Nkoyoyo, and this school was founded in 1958. The school was opened by His Excellency Kabaka Mwanga in 1958, but it was coded as a government in 1961. Your Excellency, when I reached here yesterday, I had 35 years ago is when I was here, and I shedded tears because the school is dilapidated to unrecognized level. So there are requests by the headmaster. They're requesting if we can be able to have new structures for the school. 50 years, almost 1958, it's very dangerous for the children. In 2012, Your Excellency, you came and gave the school 100 million. They tried to renovate part of the school, but yesterday when I saw, the school is doing badly. The secondary school was produced from this school when I was there, and the Nkoyoyo Senior Secondary School, they are requesting for that bus. The OBs who are here, we have Honorable Migade, they have been to this school, and Honorable Minister Florence Namboze, they are all OBs of this school. I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate all the directors and assistants of the directors of the ceremony for the job well done. They were flowing very well. And on behalf of my team, on the above note, I dare take this opportunity to invite my Senior Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development, Honorable Betty Amongi Ongom, to take over and also give remarks about the ministry. I wish Your Excellency and all Ugandans a happy Labor Day celebration. Thank you all for your attention, for God and my country. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Lordship, Your Lordship, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, Honorable Diana, your people are insisting that they want Luganda, but you come and tell them the president's message will be in Luganda. Has Diana gone? So to His Excellency, the President will give you a powerful message in Luganda.
Banabukunja mwenna Minister wa Gender abadde abagamba nti message ya President ajja gyogera mu Luganda, tusaba ayogere mu Luzungu. President bw'abazze ajja kwogera mu Luganda. Mukitegedde? Mwebale nnyo.
Thank you, Diana. All protocol observed. Because of time, Your Excellency, I'll stand on the protocol. On behalf of the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, I extend a special welcome to Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and congratulate you, Your Excellency, once again for your decisive win as the President of the Republic of Uganda, and thank you for gracing this celebration with your presence despite your busy schedule. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. On that note, I want to indicate, Your Excellency, that the women of Uganda missed you on Women's Day, but they asked me to tell you that the guest of honor you gave them on that day, Her Excellency, the Vice President, delivered your message and performed very well, and they are proud of her on behalf of the women of Uganda. Thank you. Your Excellency, this year's theme is safeguarding Ugandans' progress, empowering the workforce, and promoting decent work for competitive enterprises. This is both timely and strategic because labor remains Uganda's most abundant factor of production and a key driver of structural transformation and economic growth. Today is designated globally as a public holiday by the United Nations as a day that we thank the workers, honor and respect them for the work that they do by hand. They tilt, they're in industry, and without labor, Your Excellency, there is no progress. And for that, Your Excellency, my role here is to give you a brief accountability of what has been put in place to ensure that issues related to labor is addressed in Uganda. And I start, Your Excellency, with a small narrative about a short experience I had on Monday. As I was coming back to Uganda, in the plane, I met an entrepreneur who has worked in Dubai for 37 years. He's into entrepreneurship, hospitality. He told me he has 38 limousines for tourism. He has invested in hotels. But one thing that he told me in that conversation was that just within 2 weeks, when the war erupted between Israel and Iran, and UAE became one of the countries affected, from the investment he had had for 37 years, he has packed all the 38 limousines. The 2 luxury hotels that he owns has nobody and is looking to sell. And so he told me that for any country to prosper, you need peace and security. And that is an Indian who invested in UAE because the country was sold as a safe haven, and they invested in that country because of that. So for that reason, Your Excellency, I start by saying that lesson is big to tell Ugandans that peace and security is the first prerequisite for jobs, for development, and for all that we enjoy. Even if you are in your small huts in my village in Minakulo, if you have peace, then you are able to tilt your land. So with the peace and security, Ugandans are able to eat food, because food security is the most fundamental. Many countries do not have food, and many governments collapse because of food security. Because of the peace and security, Ugandans cannot sleep hungry because they are able to tilt their land. And we congratulate the workers who are farming, the 72% that started 10 years ago, now 39% in agriculture. We congratulate you today as the workers in the agricultural sector for sustaining Uganda with the food that we eat. Your Excellency, the second issue is that the micro and macroeconomic policy that has been put in place has sustained job creation. Industrial Park, I'm glad that we are here in Buyikwe, where the growth of industry in this district has extended to so many investors bringing industries in this area. We know through the microeconomic policy, we have been able to extend affordable capital to most of our women and youth, to most of our small, medium entrepreneurs that has created jobs in Uganda. I do not want to articulate those various programs which we already know. the liberalization of the economy that has enhanced trade regime, where MasterCard's foundation has now stated that Ugandan women are in the top number one country in the world as entrepreneurs, standing at 45% of women entrepreneurs, the youth entrepreneurs. Those are policies, micro and macroeconomic policy that have sustained jobs in Uganda. The legal and regulatory frameworks and policies that have been put in place. Your Excellency, the employment policies, the Employment Act, and recently, I think just 2 days ago, you assented to the Employment Amendment Act 2025. The bilateral labor agreement regulation that we have in place, the NSSF Amendment Act that has provided for voluntary savings for pension and security at retirement, the Occupational Safety and Health Amendment Act and regulation that has provided a framework within which we are able to enforce safety in workplaces, are those that has been put in place and support the labor industry in Uganda. Your Excellency, there is also skilling that in Uganda, the vocational skilling centers, the vocational skilling institutions, both government and private, are supported majority of the informal persons who are employed. When you drive, you will see Ugandans very busy with welding, with furniture, with all sorts of technical issues and entrepreneurship. Those arose out of the policy of skilling for productivity in our employment, the policy for promoting ICT, innovation, robotics has placed Ugandan youth among some of the most top Ugandans and Africans that are doing wonders around the world. On-job skilling through your presidential hubs and others have increased employment opportunity. Under social sector, Your Excellency, we have had grants in the Ministry of Gender. We have grants for the older persons. We have grants for persons with disability. Those support our older persons and persons with disability with financing for entrepreneurship, enabling them to also be productive and get employment. Under labor, productivity, and decent work, the Ministry of Gender, Labor, and Social Development has initiated several programs. I start with Your Excellency, your directive that we consult widely with the employers on the issue of minimum wage. For that, over the last 1 year after your directive, we have consulted widely, and the workers' representative and the employers who have been here have entered on this matter. Your Excellency, the progress is that the Minimum Wage Advisory Board and Wages Councils have been put in place but structured around sectors, industry, services, and ICT, and all the other sectors to discuss and come up with the minimum wage based on their industry. Those have already been constituted, Your Excellency. We now have a cabinet paper for the Minimum Wage Advisory Board composition, and we have already written to the Cabinet Secretariat to give a slot so that Cabinet discusses and approves the board, so that the board will be able to receive the reports from the councils and the committees that are already working. Under this Decent Work Country Program, Your Excellency, we are implementing under the ministry improvement of workplace safety, increasing social security, fund coverage, and promoting social dialogue, because we know that you cannot handle labor issue dialogue with the workers, with the employers, with those in the private sector. So this Decent Work Country Program is analyzing, dialoguing, and coming up with reforms that are necessary in the labor sector. To curb casualization of work and labor, which was hinted by the workers' representative who spoke here. Your Excellency, you gave us that guidance. And that's why we brought the Employment Amendment Bill, which is now an Act 2025. That particular act has now supported and given clear provision on how to enforce contracts between the employers and the employees. So implementation of that act, which you have assented to, will go a long way to address casual workers. That has been a big issue, while we also continue to dialogue and enforce and inspect. We have Juakali program. The Juakali program under the Ministry of Gender supports formalization of businesses in the informal sector by supporting them with equipment. We give equipment to businesses so that you can either expand your businesses, and so far we have given 13,282 equipments benefiting 35,000 people in 199 constituencies. We have a program called Apprenticeship, Your Excellency. This is a program that we have been piloting for enabling creation of jobs. There are two components under this program. The first component is work placement, where we negotiate with companies, industries, service providers, and we advertise, and those who apply are placed in those companies to work and gain experience so that they are able to go and start their businesses or expand their businesses. The second one under this apprenticeship program is Graduate Volunteer Scheme. The Graduate Volunteer Scheme is where fresh graduates from the university are given upkeep stipend allowances by the Ministry of Gender. They apply to be placed in companies, in districts, in organizations, and we pay them. We have been piloting this with a few companies, and Your Excellency, the retention of the graduate volunteers where they have volunteered has stood at 71%. So that graduate volunteer scheme, we are now expanding it to districts, to be placing graduates to districts, to cities and municipalities. Your Excellency, on externalization of labor, which has been touched on, we have reformed the regulatory framework on licensing the companies. We now require a company externalizing any Ugandan to pay 100 million as a guarantee held by a commercial bank, so that in case you fail to bring back any Ugandan you have externalized, we get that money from the bank to bring those Ugandans back home. And many of the people were opposing this. We stood firm, and Your Excellency, this has increased and strengthened the labor companies being more accountable and ensuring that those who travel abroad are returned, or when there's an issue, they resolve it. Unfortunately, many Ugandans travel without passing through the Ministry of Gender and the license companies. And majority of those are the ones who will always have problems. They are trafficked, they move through Nairobi, they go without license company, and in most circumstances, when they reach where they have reached, there's nothing the ministry or government can do except to now negotiate through foreign affairs. So those are some of the areas which makes people think that externalization of labor is not working. However, with these reforms, we have been able to handle most of the issues. Your Excellency, I want to conclude by indicating that there are strategic areas that we planned in the Ministry of Gender, issues to do with structural and institutional constraints. The major issue that is curtailing businesses, especially small, medium entrepreneurs, to grow and get people employed is the issue of high interest rate. And so most of the businesses and enterprises end up collapsing. Companies are formed, they employ people, and they collapse because of high interest rate. We are strengthening labor administration system. We have now operationalized labor advisory board, and we have operationalized medical arbitration board. Medical arbitration board is important because it is the board that assesses those who have been injured at work and can compute for you the compensation required. And most members of parliament, most Ugandans have problems related to issues around compensation. The skill mismatch was indicated by the workers' representative, but we are working on it with partners. Issues around informality and poor working condition, we are increasing inspection, awareness, and we have now recruited labor officers in almost all the districts to ensure that we handle that. And lastly, on social protection, we continue to work to ensure that social protection is honest to protect everybody in Uganda. With that, Your Excellency, I want to thank our partners, the Federation of Uganda Employers, the NOTO and COFTU, for the working relationship that has brought us this far. I want to thank our team, headed by the Permanent Secretary, Agri David Chibenge, for organizing this and always making sure that the ministry runs with all the technical staff. Your Excellency, it will be very unfair for me when you delegated Her Excellency the President, the Vice President, to stand for you on Women's Day, and she did it very well. And with that, I want to request her to be the one to invite you, Your Excellency, to speak. So, Your Excellency, the Vice President, can you take that honor of inviting the President? Thank you.
President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Ministers present, all invited guests in your respective capacities as highlighted in the protocol already established. I would like to use this opportunity organized ceremony here. And I thank the Minister of Gender for the invitation. Your Excellency, I thank you for championing the formulation of good policies and laws that promote the welfare of workers, the interests of workers, and indeed the concerns of the employers. Oftentimes, Your Excellency, you have provided a platform for dialogue between employers and employees, which has translated to a very stable private sector and indeed accelerated industrialization in our country, guaranteeing prosperity for our people. I thank Your Excellency for championing the progress of the programs of government, especially those that touch the people that work in all arenas, in the factories, in the offices, in the gardens. You have always given your time to all categories of workers across the country. And Your Excellency, we stand ready to always support you in this endeavor. Finally, Your Excellency, the Honorable Betty Amongi asked me on arrival here that I should make a statement and invite you to speak. It is therefore my singular honor and privilege now, Your Excellency, to invite you to address us and indeed the nation. The floor is yours, sir.
Her Excellency the Vice President, Lordship Chief Justice, Deputy Prime Ministers, all the other leaders, namumuna abakunja. Abakunja mwebale kujja. Biri ebyedde byaggwa oba bikyaliwo? Byaggwa ndeme okweraliikirira. Mbadde neeraliikiriddemu. Katonda yabazibwe. Now Oluganda nbogera bulungi ku makya naye esawa bwezituuka nga zino amanda gaggwamu. N'olwekyo ngenda kukozesa akatogo. The issue, somebody should translate in our language here. The one who knows how to translate. Diana yasobola ntasingwa iroko hinduna. Kati ku kigambo ky'emirimu muwulirize okuwabula kwange. Njagala kubalaga show Nyakana on the screen there. Nyakana, if you have that video. Umanyika kati ebiseera bino nkozesa nnyo firimu. Nina firimu zange. nakawada n'okwogera obwogezi katika turabe emirimu Nyakana what's wrong with you? Leave it.
My name is Nyakana Richard from Rwengaju. This village is called Rwengaju Village in Kalbarole, Fort Portal City. And where we are here is my home and it's my farm. The biggest landlord in this village of Rwengaju is having 7 acres. People are surviving on quarter an acre, half an acre. 80% of the population here, they are on half an acre, they are on quarter an acre. This farm and this home is seated on 1.25 acre. It is surveyed land. And 1 acre of land here, where we are here, is costing 80 million Uganda shillings. It is very expensive to buy land. Our farm is called Kana Farm. It is having 4 economic activities. Number 1, we are in zero grazing of dairy cows. Number 2, we are in poultry, majorly for layer birds. Number 3, we are in feed processing for livestock. And number 4, manure production. With the poultry, we have 8,500 chicken, and they are in a chick stage, grower, and layer. Those which are laying are giving us 120 trays of eggs, which we are selling at 12,000 shillings per tray, which gives us 1,440,000, and the cost of production is 1,140,000, which gives us a net balance of 300,000 per day as profit. With the feed pressing plant, every day we are processing 1,000 kilos or 1 ton of feeds. We are selling this feed at
Nyakana agenda kulwawo okunyonyola naye akolera kuyikeemu n'obutundu bubiri. Alinawo enkoko z'amagi, muwulidde nti buli lunaku afuna amagoba ga 3,000 amagoba amaze okujjako zakozeseza, ekitegeeza nti mu nnaku 10 alina amagoba ga 3,000,000, omwezi 9,000,000 amagoba, omwaka 1,800,000 mu magi. Alina n'ente z'amata, afuna ente z'amata nazo afunamu amagoba. Omwaka gwonna afiisawo 2,000,000 amagoba ku yiika emu. Naye ate akozesa abantu 15 bakola ebyemirimu byetwogerako. Akafaama ako kakozesa abantu 15. Uganda erina yiikazi 40 ezosobola okulimiramu n'okulundiramu. Kati nakibalamu nti singa tukozesako yiikazi 7,000,000 gwokka, si zonna 40, singa tukozesako acres 7,000,000 ku gali 40, nga Nyakana bwakola oba ebirala ebifaanagana ebya Nyakana, yiikazi ezo 1,000,000 He has got net income of more than 200 million shillings a year, and he's employing 15 people. Uganda has got arable land of 40 million acres. If only 7 million of them were used like Nyakana is doing, ekyetaagisa wano kwe kuzukuka abantu bave mu tulo muwulirize okuwabula. The problem is not job, the problem is being asleep. People are asleep. Eri yonna gye nvudde tolaba, I don't see serious farming. Bamaanyi abakozesa amagezi nga ga Nyakana ono. Therefore, what we need is really to be serious and stop running around. Where you are going, Japan, yes, they have got surplus jobs, which you do when you go there. But Japan is a small country, it's slightly bigger than Uganda. But with no agriculture, no minerals. I think they only use the ocean, they have some sheep, fish, and maybe the manufacturing. And there are 127 million people. And you hear they all have jobs and surplus which you go to do when you go there. So therefore, listen carefully to our advice. First of all, use the 4 acres model or less. Nyakana doesn't even have 4, he has got only 1.2. Now, I can also show you another one, Basangwa. Let's see Basangwa. Of Kamuli.
Tufulumya amagi etula 1000 omwaka tuba tuli mukaaga n'ekitundu etuba tukasi tuyingiza. So tuwuliriza omulamwa gwa president okuva ku kiseera ekyo twakati katukigiireko. President awaire musanhufu ino ku bintu byenkoze era nga buli kaseera nkyekingako. Wendogerera kati tulina abakozi 300 betukozesa.
Now you can hear Basangwa now.
Muwulidde Basangwa.
When I went there 2000 and emyaka gyagambye, the years he mentioned, they were fighting for the job.
Yagendayo mu 2008 baali balwanira byabufuzi ekifo kya LC5.
Then I said, but you cannot all be LC5.
N'abagamba nti mwenna temusobola kubeera bakiyamaini ba LC5.
Why don't you do other things?
Lwaki temukola ebirala?
And I told them of the 4 acres model.
Era n'abasomesa ku nkola okukozesa acres 4.
But for him, he took just one activity, the poultry for eggs.
Basangwa ye yatwala kya kulunda nkoko.
And he had no land.
Naye talina ttaka ddene.
He had only something 100 feet by 50 or something like that.
Yalina ploti ntono ya futi 5 ku 10.
But he started with that.
N'atandika n'eyo.
Now he's a very rich man now.
Kati musajja mugagga nnyo.
He's selling 2,000 trays of eggs per day.
Atunda trays z'amagi 2,000 olunaku.
And he's earning 20 million shillings a day.
Afuna obukadde 20 olunaku.
That is 600 million shillings a month.
Ze miliyoni 600 omwezi.
7.2 billion a year.
Akawumbi kamu obumbi 7 mu miliyoni 2 omwaka.
And he's employing 300 people now.
Era akozesa abantu 300.
So the problem is not job, the problem is okwebaka.
Ekizibu si mulimu naye tulo.
So muve mukwebaka.
So mulekeraawo okwebaka. Stop sleeping and slumbering.
Now, you now come to Oktomera, bumping into things. You come now to Oktomera to bump into things. Chuse bulungi.
Kati kajje kukutereka. Okutomera.
Bumping into things without planning.
Kajje kukugenda mu kintu ky'ogenzeemu naye nga tokimanyi oba tokyekakasa.
Because Amongi is saying that people start business and they collapse because they borrow money from commercial banks.
Minisita w'ebyabakozi agambye nti mugenda ne mwewola ssente ne mukola emirimu nga temugimanyi bulungi ne gigwa.
Bewola ssente z'amagoba g'obusuubuzi.
Mwewola ssente ku magoba amangi banka ze gateeseewo ne mukola bizinensi ne mutomera ne zigwa.
Why do you do that?
Lwaki mukola ekyo?
Because you should be patient. If you don't have, there is money, government money in UDB.
Mubeere bagumiikiriza waliwo ssente gavumenti zeetadde mu banka ey'okwekulaakulanya. Eya gavumenti.
They give loans at 12%, 10%.
Bawola ku ssente entono ku magoba amatonotono aga ebitundu 12 oba 10 ku 100.
Not the commercial interest you get in commercial banks.
Si ku magoba gali ag'ebyobusuubuzi ge mufuna mu banks eziri endala ez'ebyobusuubuzi.
Then now the government has started very soft money for you in the parish model.
Government etandiseewo ssente ennyingi naye ku muwendo omutono mu parish development model.
We have now put about 500 million shillings in each parish.
Bataddewo obukadde nga 5 ongeddemu.
So the parish now has got 800 million shillings.
Kitegeeza kati buli muluka gulina miliyoni 800.
Where the interest is 6%.
Nga amagoba matono ga butundu 6 ku buli 100.
You borrow 1 million, after 2 years you pay back 1 million and 1.12 million.
Weewola akakadde kamu n'oyisaawo emyaka 2 n'osasula akakadde kamu emitwalo 12.
And this Sanja we are going to increase their money to 200 million.
Era ekisanja kino bagenda kwongerako emiliyoni endala 2.
Zigenda kufuuka 2 mu kifo kya 10.
It's going to become 200 instead of 100 million.
So 200 million in 5 years, that's already a billion new money.
Miliyoni 2 mu myaka 5 ziba biliyoni akawumbi kamu.
So listen to what this man sentence zenteka mu miruka ne mu UDB zigenda kudibya ba money lenders na bank z'abanyunyusi commercial banks.
The money put in PDM and UDB will phase out the interests and banks and money lenders who are giving you money at a very high rate.
So don't come here and cry, say, oh, we borrowed money, we have collapsed.
So temujja wano ne mukaaba nti mwewola ssente business zigenda kugwa.
Abanyankole bagamba nti eyeetuze tebamukaabira.
Abanyankole kyekyo kye bagamba. Whoever has hanged himself, you don't mourn for them.
Omuntu eyeetuze okaabira waki?
If someone hangs themselves, why should you mourn them?
So this is the second point.
Eno y'ensonga ey'okubiri.
Now the minister raised, the speaker of the workers raised very good points.
ayogedde ku lw'abakozi awadde ensonga ennungi.
The accommodation for the workers in the industrial parks.
Okuteeka abakozi mu bibangirizi eby'abannamakolero n'okubasuzaayo.
Okuteeka
ebisulo ebiteekeddwa mu bibangirizi by'abannamakolero.
We are going to make sure that we make it part of our policy that an industrial park, we must get land nearby.
Kigenda kufuuka tteeka oba kyabuwaze nti buli kibangirizi ky'abannamakolero kibeerako ekitundu we kisuza abakozi baakyo.
Maybe not the investor himself, we can get other people to invest in that land provided by the government.
Kiyinza okuba nga bannamakolero si be bataddewo ebisulo naye bajja kufuna abantu abalala bazimbe ebisulo ebyo bikozesebwa abakozi abakola mu bibangirizi ebyo eby'abannamakolero.
We shall get investors to build low-cost houses.
Bagenda kufuna ba musigansimbi bazimbe ennyumba ku ssente entonotono.
Nearby.
Nga ziri kumpi n'ebibangirizi by'abannamakolero.
As part of the industrial park development.
Nga kimu ku nkulaakulanya ey'ebibangirizi ebyo eby'abannamakolero.
On the land provided by the government.
Ng'ettaka eryo liweereddwayo gavumenti.
And if we don't get these people, I will get National Housing Corporation to start doing it if we don't get private people to do it.
Era Pulezidenti yeeyamye nti bw'aba tafunye ba musigansimbi basobola kuzimba nnyumba ezo yagenda kufuna ekitongole kya National Housing kizimbe ku lwa gavumenti. Engalo ezisingako awo.
Now, the other issue
ensonga endala
are the courses which don't have relevance in the job market.
Kwe kusoma ebintu ebitalina mugaso mu kunoonya emirimu.
Ebitayamba biyinza kuba n'omugaso oli mugezi omanye ebiri Bulaaya omanye ebiriwa.
Biyinza okuba nga bikuyamba mu kumanya naye nga tebikuyamba mu kufuna mulimu.
Naye wano omukatale wano twetaaga ennyaanya.
But here we need tomatoes in the market.
You bring amayuni.
And for you bring yams.
So what do? We don't want yams. We want yams are good, but we don't need them.
Wano tuba twetaaga nnyanja kati gwe bw'oleeta amayuuni kiba oba totuyambye kiba tekigasizza bwetaavu buliwo.
I'm very happy. Recently I met some young people.
President musanyufu waliwo abavubuka be yasisinkana.
Recently.
Ebbanga eritali lyewala.
They have got degrees in Swaswa. You know Swaswa?
Baafuna eddiguri mu nsonga z'okusoma eby'abantu enkula y'abantu na biki.
And another one in the procurement.
Omulala mu kugula ebintu.
Another one in psychology.
Omulala mu kulowooza eby'obwongo eby'okutegeera kinajja oba ky'olowooza.
I asked somebody who had BSc psychology.
N'abuuza oyo eyasoma eby'okutegeera oba okulowooza.
What will you do with the bachelor of degree in psychology?
Nti diguri eyo egenda kuyamba ki? Katale k'ebyemirimu.
I can look at you and know what you are thinking.
Asobola okutunuulira n'amanya ky'olowooza.
Then I said, but how many jobs are there for that?
N'abuuza nti kati mirimu emeka egiriwo ng'otunuulira omuntu n'omanya ky'alowooza.
He said that he can work in prisons.
N'agamba asobola okukola mu makomera.
And see which prison wants to escape.
N'amanya musibe ki ayagala okutoloka.
So then I said, but how many prison jobs are there in Uganda?
N'amubuuza nti mirimu emeka egiri mu makomera egifaanana bwe gityo. He didn't respond.
Now, these young people,
abavubuka bano,
they are now in catering.
Kati beenyigidde mu kufumba.
and providing services, catering.
Benyigidde mu kufumba n'okugaba emmere oba okutunda emmere enfumbe.
Because there are a lot of jobs for that.
Kubanga waliwo emirimu mingi mu kisaawe ekyo.
So they forgot the other degrees of procurement, the swaswa.
Ne beerabira diguri zaabwe ziri ze baasoma ez'okugula ebintu, simanyi okulowooza, kutunuulira omuntu n'omanya ky'alowooza.
Now they went back, got a certificate or a diploma, but in catering now.
Ne baddayo ne basomayo certificate oba baluwa etonotono mu kufumba.
And in no time they got jobs.
Era mu kiseera kitono ne bafuna emirimu.
So you're absolutely right that the Minister of Education should really give guidelines. I had told Namirembe Tamazire long ago, I had told her, please.
N'olwekyo ministry ekola ku byenjigiriza yali akigambyeko eyali minisita ebiseera ebyo Namirembe Bitamazire.
Because I could see the explosion of more graduates.
Yali akirabye nti abatikkiddwa bagenda kuba bangi.
Because many years ago,
kubanga ebbanga ddene eriyise, myaka mingi egiyise,
when Amanya Mushega was the Minister of Education,
Amanya Mushega bwe yali minisita w'ebyenjigiriza,
the government was taking, I think, 1,000 children. The children who would sit for A-level would get about 11,000 qualifying for entrance into university.
Ebiseera ebyo ng'abantu abaana abatudde ekibiina siniya ey'omukaaga balinga 1,100 abaali bayise siniya ey'omukaaga nga balinga 1,100.
But the government was paying for only 1,000.
Naye nga gavumenti esobola kusasulirako 1,000 lwokka.
You remember those who are old enough when I said, but why? If they have passed.
Mujjukira abakuzeemu nti yabuuza nti naye bw'oba oyise.
Even if the government cannot pay for you, what if you can pay for yourself?
Ne gavumenti bw'eba tesobola kukusasula kiba kitya nga gwe weesasulidde.
And we introduced self-sponsorship.
Ne baleetawo okwesasulira mu university.
So now you would get now all the 11,000, the ones paid for by the government and the ones paid for by themselves, all coming to university.
Ekyo ne kiyamba abaana bonna 1,100 abayise okugenda ku university nga bamu beesasulira ng'abalala gavumenti ebasasulira.
Now you can check the figures much higher. I have not checked recently. The ones who go each year.
Ebiseera bino kati ennamba eri waggulu nnyo ey'abagenda ku university n'amatendekero aga waggulu.
But then I saw the danger. If you have got so many graduates,
naye n'alaba obuzibu nti bw'olaba abatikkiddwa nga bangi,
but studying these carelessly selected courses,
naye nga mulonze amasomo ago agatakusobozesa kufuna mangu mulimu,
what will happen? So I said the ministry should give guidelines.
So n'abuuza nti kiki ekibaawo, n'agamba nti ministry erina okuwa okulambika.
But it was not followed up as proper as it should be.
Naye tebaakigoberera bulungi nga bwe bateekeddwa kukigoberera.
But now I'm glad the delegate of the employees raised it. We are really going to take it up.
Nti musanyufu nti akiikiridde abakozesa akyogedde era president agenda kiteeka mu nkola.
But even the children who have already got this swaswa and all those, you can go back for retouring. You just get a certificate or a diploma in.
Naye n'abasomye abatikkiddwa nga batikkiddwa mu ezo diguri z'ayogeddeko, osobola okuddayo n'ofunayo ebbaluwa entonotono naye nga ekuyamba okufuna omulimu.
There was, it may take time. When during my PDM tour, I met many of the young people who had done that.
President bwe yeetoolodde eggwanga lino ng'alambula PDM, asanze abantu bangi ab'enjawulo
who have retooled themselves.
Nga bazzeeyo ne basoma ebyo ebibagasa okufuna emirimu.
Now, the factories you are talking about, the 5,000,
so amakolero ge mwogerako 5,000
came because of, first of all, peace, as the Honorable Betamongo was saying.
gajja olw'emirembe egiriwo nga minisita w'abakozi Betty Abongo Amongin bwagambye,
but also because of our correct decision on electricity.
naye n'amasannyalaze okuteekebwa oba okutambuzibwa mu nkola entuufu.
Because you remember in 2005 when we had to take money from other sectors and put them in the roads and the electricity.
Mujjukira mu 2005 baalina okujja ssente mu bifo ebirala ne babiteeka mu masannyalaze ne mu nguudo.
N'olwekyo mubagambe ababaka bammwe bano bemulonze baleme okuntawanya.
So tell your MPs not to disturb the president.
Bwendeeta okusosowaza nti tusosowaze kino byonna bikulu naye kusaawa eno twetaaga nnyo kino okusinga kiri.
If the president says we should prioritize this instead of the other, then you should follow.
Byonna bikulu naye
all are important,
naye ekitwetaaga kati kye kino.
But what is needed at this moment in time?
In 2005, after the mujjukira twalimu gye bayitanga load shedding.
Twalina kye twayitanga okuggyako amasannyalaze ne bagamba eno kwegali eno tegaliiko.
So after that election 2006,
okulonda bwe kwagwa mu 2006,
nayita olukiiko lwa aba NRM ne bakkiriza okuteeka ssente mu masannyalaze n'enguudo.
He invited the NRM caucus and agreed to invest in roads and electricity.
Waliwo ebirala byali bitubanja ng'amazzi. Amazzi kintu kikulu.
There were other needs, for example water, because water is important.
Education.
Ebyenjigiriza.
Even health.
Ebyobulamu.
And others.
N'ebirala.
Naye bw'oba oyagala ebyenfuna bigaziye.
But if you want the economy to develop,
to grow, waliwo ebyetaagisa mangu bweba tebiriwo ebyenfuna tebigenda kugaziya.
There must be priorities, and in the absence of such, the economy won't develop, won't grow.
Okujja kw'eddembe ekitawanya ab'amakolero ekirala.
Apart from peace, what is disturbing the industrialists is power.
Transport costs.
Then you add transport costs. Oba ebisale ebyentambula. That's why government is now investing in the rail line. The train.
The
pipeline, oil pipeline, and water transport.
Kasi ebyo bibaawo ogenda kufuna ensasanya ntono ku masanyalaze n'ensasanya ntono ku ntambula.
Once those are in place, the costs of transport and electricity will be low.
N'olwekyo bamusiga nsimbi bagenda kwanguyirwa kubanga
therefore the investors will find this easy.
Ne tubasikiriza nti mujje kubanga amasanyalaze gali ku bbeeyi ya wansiko n'entambula nungi.
They will be rewarded into Uganda because power and the road transport or road network is fine.
Wadde amazzi gakyabula naye tegamala bulungi amazzi oba ebirala naye kati ye Museveni Nsimbi agenda maaso n'azimba ekkolero n'atandika okutuweereza emirimu n'okwongera ku bugagga bw'ensi yaffe.
Even if the water transport is not the best, but
water for drinking
is not the best, but the investor can invest and then he starts reaping profits.
And the country n'ensi naye neganyulwa.
And the country benefits.
N'olwekyo ekigambo ekyo kati kyembasaba ebikulu nnyo biri nga bina.
Therefore, the President is requesting for 4 issues or items. Your MPs, electricity, the government is investing in building more dams like Ayago and others.
Chiba, Oryang,
and other power sources. They are working in tandem with Kenya to build an oil pipeline. They are also in collaboration with Kenya and Tanzania to build the SGR and water transport. They are working in unison. The East African countries. Once we get that,
UDB,
and we get money from Uganda Development Bank
for the investors, our local investors,
Uganda,
the economy will grow.
We may not have done all, but once the economy grows, it will aid us to do what we've not done yet. PDM, Parish Development Model. They are going to inject in more money. Thank the President and the government for that. Please support that program. And in all villages and parishes, ensure that everyone is involved in PDM. Because at the time OWC was started, in 2013, people who had money were at 63. People who saw money as their totem were 63% out of 100. They were not partners with cash. 68 homes. Could not afford money, and it was almost their totem. They had added it on to their local totems. General Sale took coffee to them and pleaded to them to grow coffee. All the soldiers were involved, and the president is asking who was in charge of Mukono.
Who was in Mukono here? Operation Wealth Creation.
Who was in charge of OWC in Mukono? Afande Mato.
Kati abantu abambawuliriza.
So you should listen to those people. Some people listened. There is someone from Karamoja, far north.
In Abim district. My village here is called Arangetoy West. Arangetoy Parish, Abuk Town Council, Abim District, in Karamoja. The mango trees you are seeing here were given to me by the President through Operation Wealth Creation. I received 200 mango seedlings, and I planted all, and they are all doing well. Apart from this venture, I got money from PDM last year. I got 880,000. And I used 800,000 for buying 10 goats. And the goats are there. They have multiplied. They are now 16. Part of the money of PDM I used for buying cassava stems. Through that money, I've managed to plant 2 acres of cassava. They are now doing well. The first acre, I intend to harvest next year in January. Then for the mangoes, you are seeing, I started harvesting last year in 2023. The first harvest, I got 6 million. That was in June. Then second harvest in September, November, not September, November, I got another 6 million. So last year, from these mangoes, I got 12 million shillings. I've been selling to the people around. Actually, Soroti Fruit Factory has booked this mango. They want me to take these mangoes tomorrow, 2025, to the factory. Actually, I've been selling locally. I've been selling 1 at 500 shillings, 2, 1,000. And people are buying. These mangoes are very good. The mangoes, trees you are seeing here, are giving me money, a lot of money. And I want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Kaguta, Museveni, for coming up with the idea of Operation Wealth Creation in the country. This is money. I am not going to suffer. My children will not suffer because of this wealth. I call it wealth now. I always harvest, I don't harvest mango. I harvest money, not mangoes. So I want to thank our president so much. And next year, if all goes well, I expect to get 18 million first harvest. And then second harvest, I also expect to get 18 million next year, 2025. So altogether, I expect to get 36 million shillings. And this money, I will use.
That's
a testimony from someone from Karamoja.
He
got 200 seedlings of mangoes and he planted them. He's now expecting 36 million per year.
Operation Wealth Creation.
He got this from OWC. The balance, he bought goats and he has showed them to you.
You got PDM money another time.
He is a beneficiary of PDM.
Also. Where you got money, 1 million and bought goats.
He got an additional 1 million and he bought goats.
Kati bwana jeno mkono waliwo muwala yali eyo kumpine na Kisunga eyo njagala kulaba omwana.
When the president came to Mukono, he visited someone in Nakisunga.
We Mukono, let's see. The one of Mukono.
Amanya gange nze nampa Harriet nambeera Mangaliba district ya Mukono. Nafuna sente za PDM nasaba emitwalo 5 era ge bampa emitwalo 5 nagafuna ng'ennaku z'omwezi 24 ogw'omukaaga 2023. Bwe nfuna emitwalo gyange 5 nagula embizzi 3. Embizzi 3 nga zonna nkazi. Nazigula ku maama omu. Nazigula nga za myezi 2 buli mbizzi emitwalo 10. Emitwalo 3. Ngula embizzi emitwalo 3, emitwalo 2 n'engula emmere. Nagula emmere eyo, embizzi ezo ne ntandika okuzirunda. Natandika okuzirunda, naziriisangako ku muddo, amalagala, ebikuta n'enfumba, ne bulandi bw'entyo, ne ntambuza embizzi ezo ne ziweza emyezi 8. Bwe zaaweza emyezi 8, embizzi ne zisala. Eky'omukisa omulungi embizzi ezo zaasalira kumu, nga buli emu esinga ku munne waayo olunaku lumu ku 2. Embizzi zaawaka. Bwe zaawaka, embizzi yasooka n'ezaalira abaana 10. Ey'okubiri n'ezaala abaana 6. Ey'okusatu n'ezaala abaana 11. Be baana 27. Neefuna abaana 27. Bwe nfuna abaana 27 ne mbalunda ne bakula ne baweza emyezi 2. Ne nkwatako abaana 25 ne mbatunda ne nsigazaawo abaana 2, enkazi n'ennumi. Buli kyana nakitunda emitwalo 10. Ne nfuna obukadde bwange 2 n'ekitundu. Bwe nfuna obukadde bwange 2 n'ekitundu nasanyuka nnyo. Ne nzijako akakadde kamu ne nkatereka ku saving. Ne nsigaza akakadde kange kamu n'ekitundu. Bwe nsigaza akakadde kange kamu n'ekitundu ne nkakozesa okuddamu okugula emmere, okuziriisa obulungi. Awo nfunye ku kasente neeyongeddemu. Ne zitandika okulya ku mmere ennungi ddala. Era zaayanguwa okuddamu okusala. Ne ziddamu ne zisala ne ziwaka. Bwe zaawaka, embizzi 3, eyasooka n'ezaala abaana 9, ey'okubiri n'ezaala 11, ey'okusatu n'ezaala abaana 10. Nefuna abaana 30. Bwe nfuna abaana 30, nali musanyufu nnyo ne nnyongeramu amaanyi. Embizzi ezo ne zirya bulungi era ne baziyonsa ne ziweza emyezi 2. Embizzi eyo ey'okubiri abaana baayo baafunamu okuddukana. Bwe baafunamu okuddukana, omusawo n'abajjanjaba naye abasatu baafa. Abasatu bwe bafa ne nsigaza abaana 27. Bwe nsigaza abaana 27 ne ntundako 25. Ne nsigazaawo abaana 2. Ne nfuna obukadde bwange 2 n'ekitundu. Bwe nfuna obukadde bwange 2 n'ekitundu, nasanyuka nnyo. Ne ngenda ne nleeta akakadde kange kali ke nasevinga ku lutu eyasooka, ne mpeza obukadde bwange 3 n'ekitundu. Ne nkwata ne maama omu ne mutunda emitwalo 5. Namutunda emitwalo 5 ne mpeza obukadde 4. Bwe mpeza obukadde 4 ne nsanyuka nnyo era ne ngamba ngenda kugula ku nte kuba pulezidenti ayagala tweyongere tugaziwe.
Kati
nengenda
muwulidde obujulizi bwa omwana erinnya lye yani?
That's the testimony of Nampa Harriet from
Nampa. Muwulidde obujulizi bwa Nampa. Kyangamba kyatabagambye wano.
What Nampa told the president, which she hasn't said here.
Yatya okukwata akakadde konna.
She had never owned a million shillings.
No, she feared.
She feared yatya okukwata akakadde. She feared owning a million shillings.
Kubanga ffe tugamba nti weewole akakadde konna.
Because the president says if you borrow a million shillings,
you should borrow not less.
You should borrow not less than a million shillings.
Nampa yagamba nti akakadde nkatya.
She feared borrowing a million shillings because she was scared of such an amount.
Yagamba nti wakiri mumpe emitwalo 5.
So she opted for 500k.
But you muwulidde obujulizi bwe.
And that's her testimony.
Mbanga tono yalina abayita abaana nayo
In a short while, she had 25 piglets.
abaana b'abantu nze omulunyankole sobola kuyita
obwana bw'embizzi abugezezza ku baana b'abantu. You cannot compare piglets to children.
nandibawadde erinnya eddala.
The president would have given the piglets another name.
But naye muwulira kati ali mu bbanga tono emitwalo 5 gye yeewola kati yali atandise okufuna obukadde 2,700.
In a very short time, from the 500,000 she borrowed, she was now owning 2.5 million.
And ate n'atereka n'agula ate kati yali atuuse ku miliyoni 4 wetumugiriddeko awo.
She saved and reinvested, and at this point, she had 4 million shillings.
N'olwekyo,
therefore,
kaweefube ono ow'okugoba okwebaka mu miruka.
This effort or struggle for erasing slumberness or sleeping in parishes
must continue and get rid of all lack of income in the villages.
kirina okugenda mu maaso tugobe obwavu mu byalo.
Buli muluka abakulembeze ba parliament mulina okumanya omuluka guno waluma amaka meka.
Each MP should know the number of homes in a parish
ameka gayingidde mu kugoba bwavu,
and how many homes are in the money economy,
ameka gakyali mu kwebaka,
and how many are still slumbering.
We don't want tetwagala okubeerawo twogera bwogezi awatali bwino.
It shouldn't be a song, but there must be evidence backed by numbers.
Now, ebyebuyikwe wano ebyenyanja,
the issue of fish or fishery, fishing
in buyikwe here,
buyikwe wano,
n'ebitundu ebirala ebiri kumpi n'ennyanja,
and other parts of the country, lake shores.
Mulina okukkiriza,
you've got to accept
nti n'enambole ejjula.
You've got to agree that even Nambole can be filled to capacity.
Emipiira bw'ejja,
if there is a match,
abantu baguza tiketi,
they sell tickets.
Naye batuuka ku kiseera kugamba nti enamba eyitiridde tetukyakkiriza omuntu kuyingira.
But there comes a time and the organizers say we are no longer selling or issuing out tickets because we are overwhelmed by the numbers.
N'olwekyo omujjuzo ku nnyanja gulina okuba n'ekikomo.
Therefore, there must be a limit at the lake or the water bodies.
Abantu bameka abasobola kuvuba kyenkanawa?
How many people should be involved in the fishing industry?
And for how much? By how much?
Era nga bali bameka bafuna mmeka
bavuba kyenkanawa?
How much are they fishing or collecting from the water bodies?
So we can't go on with the buli ayagadde ali mu nnyanja, buli ayagadde ali mu nnyanja.
It must be. It should not be for everyone.
There must be ekikomo.
There must be a limit. Walina okubaawo ekikomo.
The army people are involved. The Lieutenant General Kidigi is involved. Abamaje babirimu.
The army is involved fully.
Naye mwena mulina okukimanya ng'abantu abategeera nti omujjuzo mu nnyanja si mulungi.
But we should all know that the water bodies shouldn't be overwhelmed by numbers.
Kati ebyonna bye twogera,
now all this he is saying,
waliwo Katonda ebirabo byatuweereza.
God gave us some gifts or presents.
Ekimu ku byo mazzi n'entobazi n'ebisaalu.
One of them is the water or the water bodies and the swamps.
When
the president was coming to this function, he met people in swamps growing rice.
The
country is like a human body.
Katonda yatonda nti omusayi guyita mu miswa.
God made us in such a way that blood flows through the vessels, blood vessels.
Nti bw'olya emmere togiteeka mu kutu, togiteeka mu nnyindo, ogiteeka mu kamwa.
That once you are eating, or if you are eating, you should only put food in the mouth, not in the ears or nose.
You cannot say because I'm eating I food kubanga njagala kulya ntadde emmere ku matu.
You can't say that because you are so hungry you want to eat using the ears
or through the nose.
Oba mu nnyindo.
Ogenda kufa.
You are going to die.
N'olwekyo mbeegayiride bannange muleme okuwakanya.
Therefore the president is urging us not to resist.
Engeri Katonda gy'ategekamu ensi.
How God created the world.
Mukitabo ky'olubereberye Bishop Kagoda ayinza kukibadiramu.
In Genesis, the bishop can tell us.
Kirambikiddwa bulungi nti ensi yasooka n'ebeera n'ekizikiza.
That God created the dark world.
Oluvannyuma Katonda n'agamba nti ekizikiza kiveewo wabeewo omusana n'ekizikiza.
Then he created light alongside darkness.
Oluvannyuma n'agamba nti amazzi gabeere ku ludda lumu olukalu olubeere ku ludda.
Then he created the water bodies and then the land.
Katugwa omukunja n'ojja n'ogamba nti nedda Katonda yali mu nsobi.
So we as people from Buyikwe, we shouldn't say that God made a mistake.
N'odira amazzi n'ogafuula olukalu.
Encroaching on the water and making it land.
Songa waliwo enkozesa ennungi ey'entobazi.
Yet there are some profitable ways or methods you can use the swamps.
Kambalage abantu bange be elimoto.
So it's going to show you some people.
Bogera Lugwere.
Speaking Lugwere in Limoto, Palisa.
Amanya gange nzadde kusooka majidu nga nze omubaka wa president mu kitundu kino. President
kyali kiseera nga kiwanvu era nga n'amaani agenkozesa omwigo omwo gaali maani nga mangi nga ntwale abaana bange omwigo omwo naye nga nenfuna gye tufuna mu katono.